Hello everyone, welcome back. It's been quite a while since we have done like a traditional fresh finds. We've done some unboxings, we've done some various hauls, but this is the first time in a good while that we've actually just filmed just some of our latest pickups. This is all stuff that was picked up like one by one, hand curated as always, and we got some cool guitars, so it felt like it was a really good time to do one of these videos. Let's start checking out some guitars. Let's start here. Got two matching cases. Are they gonna be two matching guitars? We'll have to see. Here we have 57 reissue Fender American Vintage Stratocaster. Pretty round. Two-tone burst. Very orange here, not very yellow. And it's wearing just a little bit. Pretty cool. Lots of wear on the fretboard there. And I like how the headstock in particular is aged on this one. Yeah, this was just a good Strat. We actually don't have many of the American vintage Strats in right now, so was very happy to find this one, and we may have found another. We'll have to get to the next guitar. So if you're looking for an American-made Strat, you're looking for a vintage-style Strat, you're even after a 57 Strat. But Sunburst isn't doing it for you. This might. Here we have another American vintage Strat, but this time in surf green. Color looks absolutely great on this one. This one has a little bit more wear on it, the neck pocket there, as well as a few other small blemishes, but they're meant to be played, that's all right. And yeah, this one's ready to be played even more. We even got the original manual with it, which I will say matches the color quite nicely. We do actually quite a bit of acoustics, just not as much as like solid body electrics. We just kind of find more of that stuff. And I'm pretty choosy with what we take in acoustic wise. A lot more variables with acoustic guitars, so it's gotta be something really, really great. And I would say this fits the bill. Here we have a 2002 Gibson J45 Standard. So these are pretty cool, and I don't think they made too many of these, but this is obviously styled off of like a vintage J45. But you do get electronics built in and some other small like kind of quality of life upgrades. So this is a good J45 for the modern era. See there, plug in and you're good to go. This one's actually in tune for once, this is great. Keeping in the acoustic theme, not a Gibson, a Martin D18, an absolute classic. This one is from 2010, so about, yeah, 15 years old now. So still relatively new, but not super new, I guess. But this one's in tune as well. That's 2 for 2, that's pretty good. But yeah, I mean, these are a classic for a reason. This one sounds fantastic. It's kind of got that rich Martin sound. And I'm excited to get this one on the bench and get it set up. It would not be a flash flood of fresh finds without something from Fender Japan. And here we have something very unique from Fender Japan. This is a Fender Stratocaster 12 in Ocean Turquoise Metallic, which is a very rare color for this. This is one of those few like made in Japan Fender guitars that I've actually seen more of here in the States than over in Japan. And I think they pretty much just made these for the export market. I'm sure there's some that end up in Japan, but we ended up with this one. And I mean, this thing is gorgeous. The color looks great. The board is nice and dark. Beautiful condition too. And look at that. The first thing I thought of when I saw this is it's got a hardtail body. What if we just set this up as a regular hardtail Strat? That could be sick. We'll leave it as a 12 string, as that's what the people want. But yeah, super unique guitar, and very grateful to have found it in this color and in such great shape, because you just don't find many that are this clean, and you don't find many that look this good. So this is a good one. And it's got a nice case with it as well. Here we have another guitar that's kind of become a flash flood staple. It's a Gibson. It's a Les Paul, but which Les Paul is it? This is a 90s Les Paul Special. These are known as the Junior 2. These are some of my favorites. If you have watched our videos before, you've probably heard me say it, but I love this era of Gibson Les Pauls as they put the Tune-O-Matic bridge on all their juniors and specials, which is obviously not vintage correct, but for utility reasons, it's fantastic. And leads to these being really great guitars. This one in particular is, it's a nice weight. It's probably 7.5, 8 maybe, somewhere in there. Not too heavy. Super slim neck, nice board, and I mean, I know I'm biased because I own a couple of these and I absolutely love them, but I'll say this is a good one. This is right up there with the ones I have, so very grateful to have found this one. This one in particular is from 1993, so pretty sick. And it's got the right case and everything. You love to see it. This is in actually really nice shape for its age, and it's all here, so this is a good one. I will note, and I don't do the hard sell in these videos, and I don't ever want to do that, but I will say, if you are in the market for these tend to move really, really fast, and as filming this, we just listed this one, so if it's still out there and you are into it, I would recommend considering your purchase sooner than later, as these tend to not stick around for too long. So I'm gonna spoil this a little bit here, but the next three are all Les Paul Standards. We very fortunately have found a bunch of Les Paul Standards. And as much as I wanted to get all these out and show you guys a dozen Les Pauls, I chose my favorite three. I chose the three that are probably the most unique. This first one is the oldest of the bunch. Just like the last one, this one is also 1993. And to be honest, we're starting with my favorite. This is my favorite of the recent Les Paul acquisitions. This one's aged really, really well. Obviously not a flame top or anything, just a plain top. And this one is actually pretty heavy, but beautiful board and very thin neck as well for a standard. But I don't know, there was just something about this one. About a year and a half ago, we went into Jimmy Wallace's shop in Garland, Texas and Dallas, Texas, and played a pretty cool 59 burst. To be honest, of all the standards that we get, for some reason, this one just gave me a similar vibe to that guitar. This one gave me a similar thing back to that 59 that we were able to play. They're not the same. They're obviously quite different in their own ways. But just as far as if that's what you're after, is that kind of 59, 60 late Les Paul burst, this one is pretty good, and it feels really, really great. Good Les Paul, and it's kind of right what I would be looking for if I was in the market for a standard right now. We're going a lot newer for this one. Now here you go. If you want a flame, here's a flame. This one is from 2017, and this one has a gorgeous AAA top and is a lot lighter. Does also have a great dark rosewood fretboard. Once again, pretty slim neck, definitely in the 60s territory, and I'll even go as far as to say even slim for a 60s. But another great Les Paul, a very different Les Paul, different vibe, but I will say in a lot of ways equally great. For this year, they actually come stock with locking tuners, so you might be into that, you might not be. I personally like when they do the locking tuners, very convenient, but this is a good Les Paul, very clean. Once again, a very resonant guitar, gives you a lot back when you play it, and if you're looking for a standard, I mean, look at that. It's pretty sick. And here we have probably the most unique recent Les Paul standard that we have acquired, which is why I wanted to show it here. This one is actually the newest one. This is a 2019, which looks pretty crazy. Now, 2019 is where they switched over and started doing the original collection, where they were modeling their guitars more particularly after the 50s or 60s Les Pauls, the 58 kind of versus the 1960, or somewhere in there. It was supposed to be a little bit more like true to that, or you could get like a modern Les Paul standard. This was before that. This was when they were just doing this as the regular standard. This is not a 50s or 60s. This is just a standard. But what's crazy here is this looks like, oh, this is some sort of amber finish, but this actually is called Seafoam Green, and has just aged into more of an amber. You can see just a little bit of green notes peeking through, but this is definitely yellowed out like a lot. Very crazy looking flame on this, and just a super unique guitar for how it's aged, which is what drew me to this one, and it just looks so cool and so unique that I knew we had to have it. So very unique Les Paul, and again, one of my absolute favorites. Like I said, it's 2019, but it's early 2019, so different specs than you'll see with the original collection guitars, but pretty cool, and a very uncommon variant of the Les Paul standard. Kaylee figured it out. I didn't know, actually. She looked up all the colors for that year and then figured out that this is, because you could kind of see the green peeking through, and then we looked up like how the other ones aged, and this was, they all aged differently, but they all definitely aged. Sticking with the Gibson theme, but getting away from Les Pauls for a minute here. It's a bigger case. What could it be? This is a Gibson ES-135, a pretty uncommon model. This features the P100 pickups, so they're like P90s, but they have the extra coil, so they're not as noisy. They're a little bit hotter. Yeah, I love these guitars. They sound fantastic. They definitely do a good job kind of bridging a gap between you know, something like an ES330 and something like a Les Paul Special. This is somewhere in that territory, and kind of gives you a little bit of both, and I really, really like it. A little bit thicker neck on this one compared to all the stuff that we've been looking at recently, but yeah, very cool. And once again, I'll say you love to see it. I should note here, we are in our showroom, which we don't film in here as much, but for those of you who don't know, we are entirely an online store. We're the only in-person stuff that we do is at the guitar shows or the very rare order pickup. But yeah, we're not open to the public. We unfortunately aren't set up for like in-store shopping. I know a lot of people always ask, and unfortunately there's just only so much time in a day. So as much as we would love to open the doors and do that kind of stuff, we just have way too much on our plates right now. So we're not able to offer that in a capacity that we would feel is worth your time. So we're totally just doing it online at the moment. And because of that, a nice bonus for this channel. I think we're gonna make this room a little bit more like a live room, do a little bit more studio stuff in here, and bring you guys some content that is a little different than what we've been doing, as well as have some more space to work on our own musical endeavors. Very excited for that. So we'll kind of show some of that transition here in some coming videos. Since we're not using it for in-person shopping as much, might as well use it for making some music. One more Gibson to check out here. I know I've been saying this with all of them, and that's why I picked these guitars, but once again, it's a good one. Here we have a 61 reissue SG. And this is proper. I love when the cherry is kind of this tone of cherry. When it's aged just a little bit, it's just a little lighter than normal. There's just something special about it. And I love the 61 reissue. That's kind of my favorite style SG. This one even has the larger headstock, so that's pretty cool. This particular example is from 1999, so it's a little bit older. But yeah, this is what SGs are all about, and this is a very faithful recreation of the 61, so it's a good. One more hard case to check out, and we are going vintage for this one. Back to the world of Fender, we have a 1978 Fender Mustang in sunburst, and a very aged sunburst at that too, so pretty cool. Lots of patina here. It's definitely worn quite a bit along the edges, which I think looks really cool. Much more of a yellow sunburst than something like the Strat we were just looking at earlier. A lot more yellow than orange here, and pretty rad. Yeah, this thing is well played. This is not a mint condition example or anything like that, but if you're looking for a Mustang to actually go out and gig and play, this is a good one. Because it's all here, it's all original, so it's everything it should be, but it definitely has some miles on it, and it's ready for more miles. So if that's you, this could be you. All right, so a very small percentage of you guys ask for guitars in this realm, but we make it happen sometimes. Tokai bag, so that'll kind of give away the brand, of course, but here we have not just a Tokai, but a left-handed Tokai. And not just a left-handed Tokai, but a left-handed Tokai special with a Bigsby. So this is a guitar for a very particular player. This is not for everyone, but if this is for you, this is very uncommon to see a Tokai in the Les Paul Special type of design. Very similar to the cherry one we just checked out from Gibson. But Tokai's take on that, which is a very faithful recreation of the vintage one. So that's pretty sick. But if you're a lefty and you want a Bigsby and you want a Les Paul Special and you like Made in Japan, you like Tokai, then this might be you. This is a very unique guitar. I actually wasn't gonna show this one originally, but we always get so many comments that we need to show more lefty guitars. So this is for you guys. We have a lefty. So if you are in the market for something like this, here you have it. Very modded, obviously not stock with the Bigsby here. The Bigsby has been added, the bridge has been changed. We got some strap locks on here. This is definitely for someone. You might notice an absence of tellies in this video, and it wouldn't be a flash flood fresh finds without some tellies. So this is gonna be our last one. We're ending strong. We are going back to Made in Japan, and this is a rare one. Here we have the very limited run Minnie Mouse Telecaster from Fender Japan. They only made a handful of these. They've got a yellow headstock, obviously Minnie Mouse design. You've even got your hidden Mickey right there blending in. And yeah, if you're a Disney fan, if you're a Fender Japan fan, you like tellies, this could be the one. Outside of the obvious aesthetic choices going on here, this is also a really, really great playing telly. Certainly not for everyone, but again, if this is you, this is pretty sick. Minnie Mouse. Copyright Disney. They made these around 2009 from what I remember. And yeah, I actually have seen other examples of this guitar, surprisingly, but we just were never able to lock any of them down. And so I was very excited that we were able to get this one in. It's a good telly. Very cool collector item as well if you're into Disney or just the oddities of Fender Japan. We have it here, so check it out. So we've ended strong. This is it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I did want to quickly mention that we'll be at some upcoming guitar shows soon. We will be at the Carolina Guitar Show in Asheville, North Carolina, followed by the Nashville Guitar Show in Nashville, Tennessee, and then the Dallas Guitar Show, and you guessed it, Dallas, Texas. Be on the lookout for those. We can't wait to be at those shows and see everybody there. We are gonna be bringing some cool stuff with us, and I'm sure we'll be bringing some cool stuff home with us as well. We hope to see you guys there. As always, let me know down below in the comments what your favorite guitar was from this video. I think for me, it has to be that 93 Les Paul Standard. That one's just really, really good. There's something special going on with that guitar. That's gonna have to be my favorite from this video. We did good. This was a concise, but really high quality fresh find. So very grateful we were able to get all these awesome guitars in. Very grateful to bring them to you guys on our site. So yeah, don't forget to check them out there. With all that out of the way, just want to say thank you again for watching the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. And yeah, we'll see you again soon. Bye.